The morning sun streams through the windows of the community center, casting long golden lines across the scattered blueprints and half-empty coffee cups. This room, once alive with hope and the hum of possibility, is now heavy with a silence that feels almost physical, pressing down on every person gathered around the battered table. The bulletin board, with its optimistic promise, Project Home, 48 homes by April, stands as a silent witness to dreams now threatened. Marla stands at the head of the table, her hands trembling as she holds the letter that has just changed everything. Her voice, usually so steady and commanding, is barely more than a whisper as she reads the words that have shattered their months of work. The announcement is blunt and merciless. Project Home is canceled. The board has struck a deal with Prime Living Estates, and every structure they fought to build will be cleared within weeks. The promise of homes for families in need has been replaced by the specter of a luxury resort. For a heartbeat, no one moves. The words hang in the air, almost visible, as if refusing to settle. Luis is the first to break the silence, his voice cracking with disbelief. He cannot quite process what he's heard. He, who has spent countless hours with the families, who has looked children in the eyes and told them that hope was real, that they would have a home. Now, that promise feels like a betrayal. Jonah, always the idealist, scans the letter for some loophole, some mistake, but the words are clear. Their cause has been swept aside for profit. Kai, ever the optimist, tries to rally the group with a nervous joke, suggesting a new project, Project Phoenix. But the timing is off, and the pain in the room is too raw for levity. Amira cannot contain her fury. For her, this is more than a setback. It is an injustice, a theft of dignity from people who have already lost so much. She storms out, determined to confront those responsible, her anger a force of nature. Derek, anxious and methodical, searches for an explanation, scrolling through his phone for any sign they might have missed. A clause, a warning, any hint that this was coming. Rena, quiet but relentless, vows to comb through the city contracts, convinced that something underhanded must have happened for the board to make such a drastic change. Camille, always thinking 3 steps ahead, is already worried about the fallout. She knows how quickly rumors spread, how easily public opinion can turn. She grabs her laptop, determined to shape the narrative before it spirals out of control. Toby, the Peacemaker, urges everyone to slow down, to look for a compromise, a way to salvage something from the wreckage. But Jonah is inconsolable. For him, this was never just about buildings. It was about dignity, about making people feel seen and valued. He remembers every letter he wrote to the homeowners, every moment of hope he helped to kindle. Now all that effort feels like ashes. Luis can barely speak. The weight of broken promises is almost too much to bear. He thinks of Maria and her children, of the joy in their eyes when he told them they would have a place to call home. He feels responsible, as if he has let them down personally. The room is a mosaic of grief, anger, confusion, and determination. Each person processes the blow in their own way, but beneath the surface, they are bound by a shared sense of purpose. They have fought too hard, dreamed too boldly, to let this be the end. Marla, her usual composure giving way to a cold fury, makes a vow. They will not let this go unchallenged. They will hold those responsible to account, refuse to let their work be erased without a fight. The others look to her, searching for direction, for hope. Even as their plans crumble, something unspoken passes between them. A renewed resolve, a refusal to be broken. Outside, Amira's footsteps echo down the hallway, her determination carrying her forward. Inside, the rest of the team begins to regroup. Ideas spark. A press campaign, a legal challenge, a new project rising from the ashes. The pain is still fresh, the loss still keen. But in the midst of it, the first seeds of resistance take root. They remember why they started this in the first place. It was never about the buildings, not really. It was about the people, the families who had nowhere else to go, who needed someone to fight for them. It was about the belief that everyone deserves a place to belong, a patch of earth to call their own. As the day wears on, the team begins to move, each person finding a task, a way to channel their grief into action. Some reach out to the families, offering what comfort they can. Others dig into contracts and city records, searching for leverage. A few start drafting statements, preparing to take their fight to the public. Every action, no matter how small, is an act of defiance. The ground beneath them may have shifted, but their foundation, their shared commitment to justice, to community, remains unshaken. They know the odds are against them, that the forces aligned on the other side are powerful and well-funded. But they also know that change has never come from those who accept defeat. It comes from those who refuse to be silenced, who stand together even when the world tells them to give up. As the sun sets outside the community center, the team gathers once more around the table. The blueprints and coffee cups are still there, but now they are joined by new plans, new hopes. The air is charged with possibility, with the sense that, though they have been knocked down, they are not out. They are bruised, but not broken. They are angry, but not defeated. Together, they will find a way forward. They will fight for the ground beneath them, for the people who need them most. And in that fight, they will discover the true strength of their community, the unbreakable bond that holds them together, even in the darkest of times. The night deepens, but inside the community center, a light still burns. It is the light of hope, of resistance, of a promise that cannot be easily extinguished. The ground may shift, but they will stand their ground. And in doing so, they will remind the world that some things are worth fighting for.